Understanding people better through these psychology facts. Have you ever wished you could understand what someone was really thinking? Have you found yourself wondering why people behave the way they do, especially when their actions seem confusing or contradictory? Psychology, the study of the human mind and behavior, gives us powerful insights into these questions. The more you understand psychological patterns, the better equipped you are to read others, improve your communication, and build deeper, more meaningful relationships. In this article, we're diving into 10 fascinating psychology facts that will help you understand people better. From hidden motivations to emotional responses, body language, and the way people process information. These facts are backed by real psychological studies and principles. Read on, and by the end of this article you might just see the world, and the people in it, in a whole new light. 1. People reveal more through body language than words. Most of our communication isn't verbal. In fact, according to experts, over 90% of communication is nonverbal. This includes facial expressions, posture, gestures, and tone of voice. People often say what they think you want to hear, but their body language rarely lies. For example, crossed arms may signal defensiveness or discomfort. A lack of eye contact might suggest anxiety or dishonesty. On the other hand, leaning in and mirroring your body language shows interest and connection. Learning to read these signals can give you a massive advantage in understanding how someone truly feels. 2. The halo effect skews how we see others. Ever notice how we tend to assume attractive people are also smarter, kinder, or more talented? That's the halo effect, a cognitive bias where one positive trait influences our overall perception of a person. It's why we might trust someone more just because they dress well or speak confidently. This psychological quirk affects how we make judgments, often subconsciously. By being aware of it, you can start questioning your assumptions and get a clearer, more objective view of others. 3. People crave validation more than truth. One of the most surprising psychology facts is that people often value emotional validation over factual correctness. In conversations, especially during arguments, many people just want to feel heard and understood, even if they're wrong. If you can master the skill of emotional validation, you'll be able to connect with people on a deeper level. A simple, "I understand why you'd feel that way," can calm defenses and open the door to real dialogue, even in difficult situations. 4. Mirror neurons drive empathy. Humans are wired for connection, and much of our empathy comes from something called mirror neurons, specialized cells in the brain that fire both when we perform an action and when we see someone else perform it. That's why we flinch when we see someone get hurt or feel a sense of warmth watching a loved one smile. Understanding this can help explain why some people are more empathetic than others and how shared emotional experiences bond us. 5. Repetition builds trust, even when it's subtle. There's a psychological phenomenon known as the mere exposure effect. The more we're exposed to something, the more we tend to like and trust it. This is why advertisers repeat slogans and why you're more likely to trust someone you see regularly. In everyday life, subtle repetition, using someone's name, echoing their ideas, or consistently showing up, can make others feel more comfortable with you. Over time, this leads to deeper trust and better relationships. 6. People project their own insecurities onto others. Projection is a defense mechanism where people assign their own unwanted feelings onto others. For example, someone who is secretly insecure might accuse others of being arrogant. Or someone who struggles with honesty may suspect others of lying. When you understand projection, you'll start noticing that criticisms people throw at you often say more about them than they do about you. It's a powerful tool for not taking things personally and responding with empathy instead of anger. 7. First impressions stick, even when they're wrong. The old saying, "You never get a second chance to make a first impression," is backed by science. Psychologists call this primacy effect, where the first information we receive about someone becomes the anchor point for all future judgments, even if new information contradicts it. Being aware of this can help you manage your own first impressions and also remind you not to judge others too quickly. Sometimes the best parts of a person take time to see. 8. People are more alike than we realize. Despite cultural differences and personal backgrounds, most human behaviors stem from the same psychological needs: connection, security, recognition, and purpose. When people argue or behave irrationally, it often comes from fear of rejection, low self-worth, or the need to feel in control. By looking beyond the surface and seeing these core needs, you can start responding to people with more compassion. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with them?" you start asking, "What might they be going through?" 9. Silence often speaks louder than words. When someone goes quiet, it's rarely meaningless. Silence can mean many things: discomfort, reflection, anger, sadness, or even manipulation. Psychology teaches us to read the pauses, not just what is said. In tense situations, silence can feel powerful or intimidating. But it can also create space for deeper emotions to rise to the surface. Learning to be comfortable with silence and understanding what it may signal is a key skill in emotional intelligence. 10. Kindness is contagious and changes behavior. One of the most uplifting psychology facts is that acts of kindness actually inspire more kindness. When someone witnesses a kind act, their brain experiences a boost in oxytocin, the feel-good hormone, which motivates them to be kind in return. This domino effect can ripple through groups, workplaces, and communities. If you want to influence people in a positive way, small, consistent acts of kindness can go farther than you might imagine. Final thoughts. Understanding people is one of the most valuable life skills you can develop. It helps you navigate relationships, resolve conflicts, build trust, and connect on a deeper level. The psychology facts we've explored here aren't just interesting, they're powerful tools that can transform the way you interact with the world. So the next time you're in a conversation, observe the body language. Notice emotional triggers. Remember that people want to be heard and seen more than they want to be right. And most importantly, stay curious, because the better you understand people, the better you understand yourself. Let us know in the comments which psychology fact surprised you the most. And if you found this article helpful, share it with someone who's trying to understand people a little better too.